Okay, hi guys. I am Melly from Melly-Mini Vertical, which you can find me on IG, or you can also find me over on YouTube at Melly H YouTuber. I'm gonna allow my guests to introduce themselves and tell us a little bit about their job.
Yeah. All right. What's up, everybody? My name is Jake Hobbs. I am a vertical actor here in Los Angeles, California. And yeah, that's what I've been doing for the past couple of years. So in the vertical space for a few years now, and that's what I'm doing.
I want to thank you so much for doing this because you are actually the first male to volunteer to do one of these.
No
So
way. Am I really?
yes,
Let's
I'm
go.
really excited that you are like, yeah, I'll do it. And also, I love your work too. You know, I've watched your work for a while, so I definitely love
Thank
your
you so
work.
much. Wait, so not only was I the first one to volunteer, this is the first interview you've done with one of the male actors?
Yes,
Let's
yes.
go. Okay, cool. That's amazing. Well, I am extremely stoked and honored to be the first. So that's amazing. Thank
And I
you.
appreciate that. I always appreciate it when you guys like are like, "Oh yeah, I'll do it. I'll volunteer."
Yeah, what the heck? Why not? It's so fun. And like you said you've been watching my stuff, and I've absolutely noticed that from the very beginning. And you've always given me such great feedback and such honest feedback too, which is like always the best. Like I don't want anyone ever saying something they don't truly mean. And I feel like you've always been since I started, like since day one, back in 2024. You've always been extremely honest and have always had the nicest things to say. So I really appreciate it. To start off, thank you for always giving great comments and review and just reviewing in general. Just I don't care. Even if you watch them all and you're like these suck, but I just appreciate you watching them. So that takes time. These things are long. So thank you.
No, you're one of the few people that like I have a collective group of people that I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna go into this because I know it's Jake's vertical. Like it doesn't matter. Like I'm gonna if I don't like the plot, I'll be like, oh, I don't like the plot. But
Yeah, I know. It's awesome. Yeah.
I'll be like, oh, I'm gonna watch this because it's Jake's. Like I already know. And
Wow.
that,
Thank
that
you.
reminds me, you surprised me the other day because I was watching the one with Haley and Lottie that
Oh
you
yeah.
did, and I was like, I didn't know Jake was in this. I'm like, I'm gonna go watch it because Haley and Lottie are in it, and then you
Mm.
showed up, and I was like, oh my god, yes, this day just got better.
Oh man, that's awesome. Yeah, it was definitely it was fun because it was really I had just gotten off a project with Haley and it was like 9 days, 8 or 9, I think it was 9 days. And it was pretty brutal. It was we went to OT a lot and it was just like it was a grind. And then we went not really too long after that, just a few days, we went into the Queen of the Underworld or the Mafia one. And for me, because Lottie and Haley were, it was like two female leads, so they were one and two. They had pretty much all the heavy work to do. My job was really easy. I just came in for, I think I had 5 days. It was like every other day, and I had a couple, breaks in between. It was really, I got to come in and, be a mafia guy and then get out. So it was really cool. That was a really fun project, especially after coming off a pretty long one. So that was cool. That was really fun.
Yeah, because like I had watched the one that you and Haley did, the parent one.
Yeah, that was literally right before. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I had watched this one, and I was like, "Oh, I didn't know Jake was in this too." Like, it
Yeah.
always makes it better when I go into the vertical because of like Haley's in it
Yeah.
or Kylie or one of the other ladies, and
Sure.
then I see you guys, and then I'm like, "Oh yeah, this just got so much better."
Wow, that's so cool. Thank you. That's amazing. Yeah, that was fun. That was a cool little it was kind of like a little break. It wasn't as crazy and extensive for me. So it was fun. It was really fun.
Yeah, and I'm really excited because I was looking on Good Short the other night, and I was like, oh my God, Faith and his Jake's Vertical is coming out soon. Like I saw the coming soon part.
Yeah,
So I
yeah.
was like really like, I'm like, oh, already? Like Good Short's on it. Like they're going
I know.
like
All of my jobs this year have been, all three have been back to back with good shorts. So it's pretty cool. Yeah, they've been keeping me busy this year, which is nice.
yes, and I also noticed with them too that the plots are really they're starting to focus more on the plots
Sure. Yeah, I agree. Oh,
versus
there we go.
keeping it cheesy and over dramatic and
Sure.
intense and that type of
Yeah.
stuff, you know?
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree. Some, yeah, some were.
Mhm.
getting crazy. So I'll say that, getting kind
Yeah.
of wild. So it was just kind of, it was like a shift I noticed this year pretty quickly of how kind of like I would probably go as far as saying dark and very intense, and to be
Mhm.
honest, not the best way. So I'm sure you know what I mean. But
Yeah.
yeah, I've been really enjoying like the three I did so far, or the three I've done this year so far have been very like lighthearted and for the most part, and very very, and I enjoy that. Like it's just that's more my speed. So it's been fun. But yeah, Good Short's been, yeah, their plots are great. And they're getting a lot like much better. So they don't focus on really too much of the dark elements.
Yeah, they can. There are some apps that can really focus on the dark elements, but what makes it a little wild is when it's cheesy and dark, and I'm like,
Yeah,
can we dial?
I get that. I get that. And of course, like all yeah, and obviously we both know there's in film, TV shows, obviously there's very dark elements dramatically, and just like that's part of that's part of the art. But I just sometimes it's like for these, we don't need that. We don't need that. And it's just like you gotta take the time to do something like that. You gotta let people, get into their zone, their character, and like there's so much that goes into it psychologically, and we just don't have time for that. Like
Yeah,
on these verticals that we shoot in 100 sometimes plus pages in 8 to 9 days. We don't have the time to really get down to the nitty gritty of those dark elements. So I feel like we don't have time for that. We don't have time for that. But I know people like it. I understand.
well,
I get it.
I like the drama. Like I like the
Sure.
intensity if it's
Yeah.
done right.
Absolutely.
Okay. Like I remember telling Alex when I saw the vertical that you did with her,
Yeah.
about a year ago or so, Alex Watts.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I remember looking at her, I think during our interview I was like, Alex, um, you and Jake literally had to shoot this in like 5 days. And she's like, yeah, it was about 5 to 7 days. I was like, I could tell because of how fast your characters were moving through it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
It was.
just one
So
thing after
close.
another. And I
Yep.
was like, you guys, that could have been so good.
I know. I know. It wasn't like because we were together again in the fall of last year, and that was like I was like, oh man, that was a hard one for me to do. I did two of them like the same. I was like that the negligent father, and it was just like over the top, just wild and ridiculous. So that one was like the first like a little bit more like of me being a complete ass character, like as far as like just not being very nice. So but I like that one. That I feel like yeah, that would if we had the time to really get down and dirty with it, like it could have been. I thought it was cool, but
Yeah,
like yeah, it was a little rushed. So which they tend to be sometimes. So
yes, definitely. So the first question I have for you,
okay,
someone we should know about you either personally or acting.
okay, something fun about me. Ooh, fun facts. Let's see. That's a fun. Well, I'm from Oklahoma City. Fun fact, I guess, would be that I mostly played sports growing up, and that was my thing. And never that was kind of like I never thought I would come out here to LA and do what I'm doing now. But I was actually the first. My friend and I that I played lacrosse in college for a little bit, but we were the first two kids in the state of Oklahoma to sign scholarship, like a national letter of intent was what they call them, to go play college lacrosse. So I guess that's a fun fact I feel like I always use because it's the one I remember the most. But yeah, we were like in the state of Oklahoma, we were the first two kids to do that. So that was fun. That was cool. Yeah.
So I'm from Wisconsin, and like lacrosse
Cool.
is like a big thing here.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, yeah. I didn't know you were from Wisconsin. That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep, I'm a Midwestern girl, as
Love
Midwestern
it.
as
Love it. We love the Midwest. Great place. I love the area. That's cool. I'd be always. Were you born and raised?
Yep, born and raised.
Okay,
My
cool.
family's been
Wow.
here since the 1850s.
Wow. Okay. What part of? I'm not really too familiar with Wisconsin, but what part of
Mm.
Wisconsin? Right.
Well, my so a lot of my family was German and Polish
Okay.
farmers, and they sort of came to Wisconsin, and some Scottish there. They came to Wisconsin in the 1850s and like farmed the suburban areas, the farmlands. Like
Wow. Cool.
I literally have a family cemetery like that's in the middle of nowhere. Like you go down
Wow. Yeah.
way park, there's a farm like right across the street.
Yeah. I know. I know what you mean. Yeah. That's crazy. Wow. Okay.
And you just walk into like this little field. It's not even marked off. It's just a field full of headstones, and they're all my family. Like going
Yeah.
back to like 1812 or something like that. Like,
Wow.
yeah.
Wild. Okay. Okay.
And then as more of them started to progress here in Wisconsin, they started to move into the city, the heart of the city, Milwaukee.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so my family's been there since the 1880s.
Wow.
Yeah, like
A lot of history there in
yeah.
Wisconsin. Oh, that's crazy. Wow. Okay.
And so when I walk to the downtown area, I always like I just look around. I stop for a little bit. I'm like, oh yeah, my great grandparents, they all walked down here. This is where they
Yeah.
worked. This is what they did. Because my great grandfather, actually, I have a picture of him where he's working in a foundry, like a packing coal foundry type of thing. And
Yeah.
it's a picture of him, and they have the job, like a drum with the job name on it, and he's standing with all his coworkers, and they're all just like in factory type, like
Yeah. Sure.
essence and stuff. And yeah, so every time I walk around in that area, because I know exactly where it was at, it's always like, oh, I'm in an area where my family walked. Like I walked their shoes.
Like years ago. Like
Yeah.
That's crazy. And then to see like obviously what it is now versus back then that's got to be kind of crazy. Wow, that's cool. Wow, there's a lot of family history there in Wisconsin. Cool.
Yeah. And I'm really like, there's some really good ones, and then there's the one where my other great grandfather, German, making beer when he wasn't supposed to be, so he got caught.
Oh man, like during Prohibition era. Whoa, there's a picture of it. Oh, that's great. That's cool. That's
I have
crazy.
a whole news article of him being like, he was shot, like the feds are behind him breaking it up his meal, and he's standing there as they're taking the camera, and like I don't know, like, but they got his name wrong. Like it's not his name.
Sure.
So I'm like, great grandpa, like,
yeah,
laugh about it now.
sure.
And it's like, oh, I know what I saw what you were trying to do, great grandpa.
Yeah, that's wild. Wow. That's what a historical picture there. That's crazy. Wow. Cool.
I have really awesome pictures. I have a picture of my great grandparents from when they got married in 1925. Like,
you still have that's like things you still have. That's priceless. That's really, really cool. I wish, yeah, that's wow. That's really cool. Yeah, I feel like my family's very much like that too. They've kept pictures in photo boxes since way before my time. So it's cool to always like go back and be like, wow, this was years ago. Yeah. And yeah, that's cool. That's cool. I love keeping stuff like that. And I hope I can do that too. But obviously everything now is all digital, or it's all on your phone. So not a lot. There's like not as many times you go over to CVS and print out a bunch of film.
No, I got my own printer.
That's cool. That's great. That's great. Yeah.
I got my own printer where my phone hooks up to it, and I just.
Oh, that's great. Oh, that's cool. Oh, well, there you go. I gave myself one of those. That's sweet.
And then keep them like safe. I learned to keep them safe. I laminate them.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so I print them off my phone, laminate them, and I keep the picture safe that way.
Yeah, it lasts forever. That's so cool. Dang.
Yeah.
That's a good idea. I need to get on Amazon and get one. That's cool.
What is the skill you've always wanted to learn?
Oh, I wish I could dance really well. I've always wanted to be able to dance. I think that's a cool little and I would keep it very, very low key. I wouldn't only bust it out when I needed to. I wouldn't be cocky about it. I would just like do it in like, a social situation and like, whoa, like I can dance. But yeah, I don't know why back in high school when I was younger, a couple of my buddies and I were really into like hip hop dancing for some reason. Um, and we would look at YouTube videos of like how to do certain moves all the time. We sit on YouTube all the time, like after practices and whatever, and just like learn how to dance. So yeah, it didn't really get me too far. Obviously, I'm not much of a dancer, but it was fun to learn some things.
It takes me back to the days when me and my one best friend, because it was so hard for me to make friends in school. Like
Mm.
my one best friend, we used to sit in her living room screaming to TRL and Boys to
Yeah.
Men and NSYNC and all
Wow.
of
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's
But
crazy.
I can't dance either, so
I really wish I could, but something I'm still learning. Yeah, it's a work in progress still, but we'll see what happens.
I've always wanted to learn ballroom dancing.
That'd be cool. That'd
Yeah.
be really cool. Yeah, that's fun. That's a good skill to have. Like, or like, coming from Oklahoma, there's a lot of like country bars and stuff. So I would love to know how to like two step or line dance or stuff like that. Just to know. I feel like that's a skill I should know coming from that area. But yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah, I think like country music and country music dancing is like picking back up. Where like in the 90s it was really popular, then it died down, and now
Yeah.
it's making its rise again.
Yeah, there's a whole like a big rise in like Western culture. And it's like I feel like it's a lot because of artists. Like a lot of artists, musical artists have gone into like doing country albums like Post Malone and like people who were never in that world and now are doing it and making it cool again. But obviously it's always been cool. But yeah, it's definitely become more like into social media and stuff like that, like Western, like cowboy boots and hats and that Western wear, even like clothes are just like coming back too. So it's cool.
Yeah, and I think part of the part is to like girls were like, oh, let's wear the flannels, and then it's like, oh, there's a whole other theme behind.
Yeah, exactly. It's not just flannels. That's funny. Yeah.
What's a movie you could watch every day?
Ooh. I feel like one of my favorites that I've watched so many times. I really like the movie Braveheart.
That's
Yeah,
so good.
Mel Gibson. Yeah, that's I watched that when I was I was like middle school, high school when I saw that, and my dad showed me it, and it was I don't know why I was like, this is an awesome movie. That and like because Gladiator as well is kind of similar in a way, but obviously different era and different places. But that's a good one. But I'm also a huge Star Wars nerd, so I could throw that on and watch it all day. So
Yeah, I'm getting into Star Wars now that I'm older, but when I was a
Mhm.
girl, younger, it was Star Trek. I was
Oh, okay,
I was a big Star Trek girl, so
okay.
like that was my thing. But yeah, Braveheart's such a good movie.
Yeah, that's it. And I love. I think it's more not. I think it's amazing. It's fun. It's action. But I think more like just the plot line of the whole like vengeance and just like bringing what he did because of the spoiler, but of like when they you know killed his wife.
Yeah.
But I just like that the whole idea and plot around it is just like that's so like oh it's cool. He's like getting back, but it's obviously there's a way deeper meaning and way deeper story of just because of that. But bringing freedom to Scotland. But that just it's fun. Like from beginning to end, it's just like oh my god, it's one of my. I could watch that. Another one I could just sit there and watch it any day.
Have you seen League of Extraordinary Gentlemen with Sean Connery?
Have not.
You would I think you would enjoy that one. I really
Yeah,
do.
I really like Sean Connery. So yeah, so League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. That's what you said.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. It's with
Yes,
Sean
sir.
Connery and Shane West. And it's like all of these like there's so many different I don't want to use the word mythological, but like fantasy
Mhm.
characters in it. Like it
Okay.
has Dorian Gray in it. It has Dracula, Mina from Dracula,
Oh wow.
like
Okay.
those
Oh
different
okay. Cool.
concepts in it, and they are on the Nautilus and they're hunting down for something or another. But it's
Okay.
a really good like
Interesting.
Yeah, it's
When do
really
you know what year? Do you know what year it came out, or like around what time was it? Is it an early like a '90s movie, or is it early
no,
2000s?
it's
Or?
the 2000s. It's a 2000s.
Oh, 2000. Okay, League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. Yeah, I gotta check that out. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
good. Thank you for the rec.
it's a really good, like, it's got Dorian Gray in it, Dracula, like it's got all these like fantasy stories that like,
Yeah, sure.
but it's all combined, and they're on the Nautilus from 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, and
Mm-hmm.
traveling around to find some kind of thing, and like they have the Invincible Man in it,
Oh
like
yeah, 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 yeah.
it's
Okay.
really good.
Oh, cool. Okay, I'll check it out then.
What did you want to be when you grew up?
Um, let's see. It always changed as a young kid, but I feel like I always wanted, like when I was super involved in sports, I wanted to be an athlete, pro athlete, but that didn't happen. I got hurt in college a lot, so I was just like, it's over for me, which is fine. Um, but I feel like because of like being heavy in sports, and I actually studied when I was in college, I studied sports management, like business. So I thought maybe I'd be an agent, a sports agent. I'll just do it. But then kind of a deal where I don't think I'm cut out to do that. And I had it like a business kind of almost like a what do they call them? Like a guidance counselor when you have that in school, but then you have like a business advisor or advisor for college where they kind of like tell you what credits you need and what courses to take. He's like, yeah, you're probably. He's like, I don't think you'd be really cut out for that. Like he seemed like he was kind of just like honest about you care too much about people to be a sports agent. So I was like, yeah, I'm not very cutthroat and
It's
very.
so
I'm not very mean. It'd be very hard for. I'd be like, gosh, I don't need this client anymore. Like, what do I do? Like, it's gonna be hard to tell him like, sorry, but you're gone. But that's just how it's just the nature of that business is very cutthroat. Kind of like, I mean, it's almost like acting too, though. It's like you know it's very just like it's no, like you hear a lot of no's before you hear a yes. So but yeah, but obviously like that one yes could change your life. So but yeah, I wasn't really cut out for that life, so I just really throughout college and during that time where I thought I went to the school to play lacrosse, and I was dealing with a lot of injuries and that I didn't expect. So I was like, well, now I kind of need to figure out what I want to do with my life since I'm, pushing 21 too. And I transferred, went to a school back in Oklahoma. I went to University of Oklahoma for a year, hated it so much. So then I moved out here and I was like, maybe I just started PAing on sets, like commercial sets, just trying to figure it out. But, and I just kind of like started making connections through that. And now here we are. So I just didn't really know for the longest time what the hell I wanted to do, but definitely my decision now.
I'm laughing because my college counselor, I was
Uh-huh.
going into website design. I want to do website, computers, that type of stuff, coding, all
Sure.
that, and I went to an art school for it.
Oh, okay. In
And
Wisconsin.
yeah,
Oh, cool. Okay.
yeah, I went to a branch that is connected to the Art Institute of Chicago.
Oh, cool. Okay.
And she looked at me, she goes, you would be better in business. And I'm like, yeah, I don't like, I can pick up the business aspects of it, but it's like
Sure.
gotta be logistics.
Mm.
Whereas if I'm dealing with people, I'm just like, okay, cool. Like,
Yeah.
yeah. Um,
Okay.
and so I'm like I'm the same way. Like dealing with people is a much harder course because you want to give people the benefit of the doubt, but then there are times where you're
Yeah.
just like, okay, you're doing XYZ. Why are you doing XYZ when you're supposed to be
Sure.
the
Yeah.
other?
That's
So
the hardest part about like just life is for me. It's just like cutting, even either having to cut people out or just being like, what you did kind of sucked. And so it's like, it's always been a struggle for me to be able to do it. But like, I've grown a lot more than I was when I was obviously younger. But it's just always it's been a a journey, a journey to find
it,
that that
it,
play, that character.
it really has. I feel the same way about my own life because I'm one of
Mm,
those people now where I'm very much like, hey, you're doing XYZ to make me feel bad. I don't like XYZ. Can we cut this out?
Yeah.
And if you don't want to fix XYZ, then I'm like, gotta go.
Sure. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Crazy. Yeah.
And then with the whole sports thing, I find it ironic because my dad used to play football.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
He broke both of his collarbones.
Ooh,
Like both
I
of them.
broke my collarbone once, and that's a not a fun one.
And you know, we both have worked because I worked at the baseball park and my dad's done it for years. Like
Okay.
that's his job. Like he loves that place.
Yeah.
But I think it's also his way of like staying close to sports because he can't play.
Sure. Sure. I get that. Yeah. I get that 100%.
If someone was going to make your life into a vertical, who would star in it?
Who would wait, sorry, who would what?
Who would star in it?
Oh, if someone like played, there's a vertical about me. Like,
Yeah.
oh, that's a good question. Who would play? Who would play me?
Yeah.
That's funny. Probably my best friend and roommate, Zach Risk, because I mean, he knows me better than anyone else does in this world. So yeah, definitely, yeah, Zach. I think he would do it justice. I trust him.
You know what I was gonna say?
Who?
Sam.
Sam who?
Sam, I think Myers.
Myerson? Oh, Myerson. Okay.
Yeah, because you two, every time I watch one of your vertical, and I do this with a lot of people, it's not just you guys, but I watch a vertical and I'm like, wait, is that Jake or is that Sam? I have to like double check.
People have done that actually before because I've been tagged in things that was him. I was like, oh, sorry guys, like that's actually not. But thanks, anyways. But yeah, I've gotten that before. People mix us up because of our look, and so that's funny.
It's not only you. I did that to Kira and Kira Wisely and Abigail Fawn. And Kira's
okay.
like, yeah, one of us has brown eyes, one of us has blue eyes. That's how you can. I was like, oh, thank you.
Yeah, they're good. That's good. Good note. There we go. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah.
What was your first performance?
Like an acting performance?
Yeah, it doesn't matter what. It didn't have to be vertical. Just any first acting performance.
My first vertical. It actually was my first acting performance. Like it wasn't really a performance, but I took so I needed sorry, my phone keeps falling. I needed an arts credit in college, and I took actually a few of my buddies and I from my lacrosse team. We took an acting class, and it was during what they call like January term, J term for short. And because we were a spring sport, we had to come back when everyone was still on Christmas break. We had to come back early and take a class, and it's like 2 weeks long, so it's not like you don't miss out on like too much break. But we would also start practice, so it sucked. But we during that time, that 2 weeks, you usually just take a course, like, what you think is just like a bullshit course. You're just like, I'll just get this out of the way, and I can graduate on time. But so myself and like probably 3 or 4 other of my teammates we're like, let's just do this acting like it was like an intro to acting kind of thing. And it was 2 weeks long. It was got our arts credit, but we had so much fun. And if you know anything about lacrosse players, they don't get a good rep at all. Like, they're known as like, the, pardon my language, but the assholes on campus, and the partiers, and they don't like, they're rude, blah blah blah. But we participated more than anyone else in that class. We had so much fun. Like, so, but our like our project, it was, you basically had to just go up there on stage and do a monologue of some sort. So from like a movie or from anything, like for really any performance ever. And so it was cool. You got the freedom to do whatever. And I did, and you've seen The Breakfast Club?
Mm-hmm.
Like when Brian, what's his name? Manthony, or Anthony Michael Hall, who plays the kind of nerdy kid. Um, his final kind of like speech in the whole thing of like the jock, the criminal or whatever, when he's talking about that whole thing, which is really cool ending. That's what I. That still wasn't really like my intro to acting and like, oh, I'm gonna keep doing this. It was just I just remember having so much fun with it. But so that was kind of a performance. But really, the first time I ever read dialogue and acted for a work was my first vertical. So I kind of fell into it. I was doing a lot more print stuff, not really doing a ton of it, but more modeling. And I kind of just I fell into the vertical world, and it was great, and it saved my ass. And it's a lot more fun than standing there. So I love it.
I have a question follow up to
Sure.
that. Who was in your first vertical?
Who was my co-star?
Yeah.
Her name was Monroe. Yeah, and I don't think she really does a ton of verticals as much. Like she does a lot of stuff. She's a dancer as well. Monroe Klein. She was in The Return of the Drama Queen. That was my first vertical I did. That kind of like that timepiece one. But I haven't really, honestly, since then. I haven't worked with her good, and really haven't seen her do really any verticals. I don't know if she's like doing more dancing or
Is that the one?
other acting projects.
Is that the Freaky Friday one?
No, that was trapped in like the CEO's body or something. That was the body swap one.
Mhm.
No, that was when was that? That was the same year, but later on into the fall. That was like right before 2024 going into 2025. But
Yeah.
no, my first vertical was called The Return of the Drama Queen. It was like a time period. Oh, whoops, sorry.
Oh, you're good.
I just swiped that up. Whoops, daisy. Oh, there we go. Went and it was like kind of like back in the olden days. It would go from there to like it was about what is it? Oh, jeez, I'm going blank on the name.
Oh my god.
Antoinette, Mary Antoinette.
Oh, I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah. That was my first vertical I did.
I was talking to somebody about that the other night.
Yeah, that was my very first job.
Yeah, I was talking to somebody about that the other night because I really, really enjoyed that one.
Oh, thanks.
And I was telling them, I was like, oh, I didn't know Jake had done this. And it's somebody in the community.
Mhm.
And yeah, I was telling them, I was like, oh, I didn't know Jake had done this. This was so good. And like,
Yeah.
like that. After we
Yeah.
finish the interview, I'll tell you who it is. Because
Okay.
you're gonna laugh. You're gonna laugh.
Okay. That's funny. Yeah. That was my. Yeah, that was the first one I ever did. So that was fun. That was definitely a like wild intro. Oh, this stuff is crazy. It's very fast and quick, and it's a lot different. So, but that was fun. That was cool. That was really fun project. So, good intro.
And it's funny how those ones, and I don't want to use the term older because they're like from 2024, 2023.
Yeah.
But you could see the progression of them trying to at least make the plot better.
Sure.
And then once these started becoming trendy, it was all about the dramatics, what could sell, that type of stuff.
I really like honestly still feel like some of my personal favorites were like in 2024 or the beginning of 25, or in the summer of 2025. Just because I don't know, they just weren't as like ridiculous and like all that stuff. So I don't know. I don't know. It's interesting. They definitely evolved in a different way, but it's interesting. They were definitely I feel like they're a little more like not as there weren't a lot of violence and slaps and back when I first started. So now it's a lot of that. So
I describe it the best way I could describe it. It's kind of like in the between 2023 and like the beginning of 2025, it was more like, oh, hey, this new TV show's on, let me go watch it. Versus where now it's like more like, oh, this is a big movie production. We have to do it for time, but like we're gonna put all the flashes on type of thing.
Yeah.
And so I kind of miss just like watching a vertical, and every so often you'll catch ones like from China still, where it's more like a show versus a
Yeah,
big flashy production.
sure. Yeah.
And like I want like better plots, sure. And I want
Mm-hmm.
like less laughing for sure.
Yeah.
But I also want that just like, oh, we're doing this for the fun of it. Like people are gonna watch it kind of
Yeah.
essence. More or less
Sure.
than, oh, this is the biggest plot right now and we're selling this. Let's get started.
Yeah, no, 100%. And also just like how many times have you seen like a vertical and then a platform does the exact same thing? Right? So it's just like it's interesting that I mean I guess there's so many going on. It's like how many new like stories can you do? But it's just like there's just so much like copy and paste of this like the same ones. So just from a different platform, But I think it's because like what you said, where they like find one that like hits or like a genre or a trope or something. They're like, oh, we should do that because that one hit on their platform, so that we should do like the exact same thing. Almost like it's not even like similar. It's almost exactly the same. So it's very
Yeah,
interesting.
we
So
can definitely do like use your mafia one, for example, that you did with Haley, where it's like this scene, oh, they're in the ballroom. No, they're at the
yeah,
wedding. Cut pace. We're at the ballroom, cut pace. Now we're at the
yeah,
end. These two who just met each other like 5 minutes ago are all of a sudden get married and like all of this becomes
yeah,
so. And I love both casts, like both casts from
sure,
the other app and from yours. Okay.
yeah. I think I
And
know which one you're talking about because that was kind of the example I was actually was referring to because I saw that on like a YouTube video of someone reviewing it. I was like, that literally we did those exact same shots and scenes. I was like, what? But did it first, I think. So I forgot what it was, but
yeah,
yeah,
it's the one with Samantha Drews. Samantha Drews.
that's exactly what it was. Yeah, that's what. Yeah, it was Warlord something.
Yeah,
Warlord.
yeah.
Yeah,
And I laugh.
yeah. It was.
I'm joking when I say this. I kind of blame Samantha because she blew up her TikTok by using the title Warlord Queen. Like she was running around making TikToks.
Oh yeah, it
And
was great. It was good. Yeah,
yeah, and so I'm like, oh, that's why it's really trendy right now because Samantha put in all the effort and
yeah.
all of this and blew up her.
Sure. Yeah. That's great. I mean, good for her. Yeah, she
Yeah.
marketed the shit out of it. That's great.
Yes, and I'm like, but then when I look at yours, there are some moments where I'm like, I did like that take just a little bit better. It's not as dramatic. It's not as cheesy. It's not as
Sure.
that oh, I'm just gonna come in and dump a bucket of ice over her head type of situation.
Yeah. It's like normal. Sometimes you're like, what the hell? They didn't do anything. Yeah. That's very true. That's
And then too, the guys are so oblivious sometimes, or they're just like, wait, she didn't do anything. What are you talking about? Like she's so innocent, and then this girl's over here literally plotting.
yeah. They dunk their head in a bucket of water. You're like, wait a second. Why? Why
Yes.
did she deserve this? What did she do that was that bad? Nothing. That's always the answer. Didn't deserve it. That's funny.
What technique do you use to get into a role, any role?
Um, I would say, I mean, I don't know if this is necessarily a technique, but I guess, I mean, I feel like I use a lot. I don't I mean, I haven't taken a ton of classes. I've taken a few when I first started out, when I first moved to LA, but I would say I'm still very new to like this art and very new to learning different techniques and, just this industry as a whole. So, but I like to, especially if it's a character that I feel like I relate to, I use a lot of kind of personal experiences or try to like, what would I do, kind of put myself in their shoes situation. But if it's like a character I do not resonate with at all, then it's kind of like, I guess I just, at that point, kind of just use inspiration from other characters in film or TV. And then, then I'm just kind of gotta make it my own, like, idea, I guess. So kind of just play around with it. But that's the thing I mean by like what I said earlier. It's just so fast paced and so like so quick. We don't really have the time to break down too much of our character. We don't get that. We don't usually get the freedom too much. At least in my experiences so far, to really play around with a character. So I mean, hopefully, I'm sure there's been other experiences for other people. I hope they've got it, but sometimes it's just like they just got to get it. They got to get what the client wants. So hard
Uh,
sometimes, but I still try to do my best. Of like, this is my character that I'm portraying, and I own that. Like that's for me to decide, not like anyone else. So. But it's hard, I get it though. I'm like, I get it. We're on a time crunch here, so got to get the shot. So, but it's
uh,
still fun.
I will have to say, I have told somebody that Leo is my favorite.
Leo Forrester.
Yes.
I talked with someone about Leo Forrester, and we like that character. I love that. That is by far my favorite project I've done ever. It was so much fun. It was great in many ways. But really really enjoyed being that character. That was a good one. It didn't seem too toxic, I hope. So love a green
No,
flag character or a green flag role. Don't really like the red flag ones. Don't really resonate.
I think he was less toxic than
Mm.
I cannot remember the name of the character because I'm bad with names.
Mm.
He was less toxic than the other one you did with Kylie.
Oh
The
my
one
god, I was the worst. I was the biggest the largest red flag you could create for that. That was back in December of like last project of the year, and yeah, it was my name was Sebastian.
yes,
It
yes,
was the one for Playlit. I forgot what it's called. Something. He's mad. Something. He's still mad or so mad or something like that. But
yeah.
yeah, we didn't love that one. So didn't love that project. But it's still great to work with together, and we worked with what we were given. So still a lot of fun, but didn't love playing that guy. He was not a nice guy to be in the nicest way possibly. It was not a good character, but we always talked about like stop crying. I made something better. That was fun. That was not as toxic at all. 90 Day
I
Difference.
was telling somebody the other day about because I was like Pride and Prejudice is one of my favorite movies. And
Okay.
I was telling somebody the other day, I was like, Leo, the words, the lines, because it was that scene where you walk out of her house and you say,
Huh?
my wife doesn't like this house, doesn't like this family, and then you pick her up,
Yeah.
like, and you just pick her up
Yeah.
and
I thought that was so funny for some reason. That line is so like so silly, but we had a lot of fun with that line, and we still quote it today. What it was this place upsets my wife for leaving as I'm brought like idle style carrying her away. That was fun. So,
And I was telling somebody, I was like, Leo Forrester is so Darcy coded. Like he's
oh wow, yeah.
Darcy like coded. And I was like, you don't usually get that in these verticals.
No,
So
no.
have that in a male lead, like he was. And I kind of like felt bad for him a little bit at the end. Not to give too much away, but like that ending was like a little bit of a like, whoa, wait, they did what?
Yeah.
Only to end up with the actual final ending. And which they got their happy ending and regardless, but yeah, Leo Forrester, there are moments where I look at that and I'm like, oh, and I told my friend, I was like, oh, that's so Darcy coded, like, and that's weird. Yeah.
That's cool. Okay, interesting. Yeah. Huh.
What do you think makes a performance most believable?
I feel like adding truth or adding no human I don't know. I'm trying to say let's like adding truth into it, like you believe that, or also just like being natural, being human. Sometimes these things are like it's so over the top, but which is obviously that's kind of hard to believe. But I'm trying to. I just like that's why like I try my best to, even though like it's they want it very big and dramatic. Like just trying to add some like some depth to it, or add some realism in there, just like of like emotion, whether it's a look on your face, or just how you would interact with a character or a human. And it's just I just try to add some like, what would a human do, or what would I do in this situation, kind of thing. So I feel like the more like you can tell someone's like either like, if they're hurt or they're sad or they're, anything, angry, happy. It's like if it's so over the top, you're like, seems kind of fake. But if like I feel like I try to keep it as grounded as possible. But sometimes they don't like that. They like the more dramatic. Like
I, I
that's
I think that's why I probably like Leo, because that character is very much like a little bit more down to earth.
sure, yeah.
And
Even though for like even being the CEO, big boss, like
yeah,
it wasn't very like like I'm Leo Stoke. It was more just like he really cared for Scarlet and was very sweet and very heroic in ways. And I feel like so I was going to make it too. Look at me, I'm CEO. It was more just like I feel like the whole story is based on them of like how much he's trying to. He knows who who was and who she is. So just trying to win her and win her back, and it's not really about like being the look at me, ego guy. It's just like he cared about a woman and he wants to let her know.
yeah, and the fact that he let her go, the fact that he's just like, oh yeah, we have a son, but I understand, like I understand, and then he comes back. I'm spoiling it anyway. I wasn't trying to, but he
Yeah,
comes back and he's like, oh, um, I love you. Like I gave up everything for you,
yeah,
and
yeah, yeah, yeah. Sure.
I want you and our son, and I'm gonna do whatever it takes to prove to you that I would rather you guys be safe and feel safe than me
Yeah,
have this big title behind me. Which
yeah.
can, as a parent, you would hope that would be any parent's like
Sure.
thought process. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. You would think, but
What do you
yeah.
what do you believe is the most challenging aspect of being an actor?
I think more that just kind of the behind the scenes stuff of when it comes to either auditioning and getting like told no, or when there's like there's ups and downs a lot in work, whether you're working heavily or you're working you work slow. And I feel like that's always been the toughest for me to like toughest pill to swallow. Is just sometimes it's going to be dead, and like as far as just like, oh man, I'm just not a lot going on right now, or like I'm not booking a ton. But you just got to know, like, you can't let that get in the way of like your dreams or your confidence, or let that break you down a lot. That's always something I've always struggled with. It even if it's like, oh, I didn't get this job, the audition didn't go as well as I planned. That's always been more like, trying to, it's harder to get over than working and enjoying it. And like, because when you're working, you're like, oh yeah, I got this, like this is fun. That's always happens to me. I kind of like, my confidence gets a little broken when if like, yeah, if there's a little bit of a drought work wise. But then when I get on a job, I'm like, yeah, this is why. That's why I love this. This is why I'm doing this. Like, I feel like this is the right path. But sometimes I just get kind of like, I overthink it when I don't book the job I want or something like that. So it's that psychological process of it.
Does it make you more motivated when you have back-to-back jobs? Like you went from that project with Haley to the next project with Haley to the project with Faith.
Yeah, I would say so. That it does it for me personally. It does give me a lot of confidence and a lot of like hope. It's like, oh yeah, hell yeah, like let's keep it going. Like, because I love to stay busy. When I am when I'm not working, or if I'm off a job and I'm just like chilling, I tend to get in my head a lot. I'm kind of like, oh no, like am I ever gonna work again? It's just kind of outlandish thoughts like that. So I personally, in my like me, I need to stay busy and I like to work. So it keeps me away from the negative thoughts. But then it's still good for you. I mean, obviously, it's still good to have some downtime. Like after doing those three back to back, I was like, you know what? I'm fine with a little bit of some time off, which is great. I'm now at this point, I'm like, I'm ready to get to work again. But it's nice to have a week or so just to recover and like get back into the working mode. Because I think staying fresh though is also like a good thing. Like, yeah, I love going back to work, but you get so after 3, it's like that's kind of my limit of like how much I'll go until I need a break. So yeah, it's not. I think it's good to have have a couple of jobs because they're so fast paced. Like it's nice to take a little time off, get back into that that focused state of like, all right, now like breaking down your character and really get into it. Because sometimes if you have a job and then your next one starts in a couple of days, you just like you go from one character that may be completely different and right into another, and it's just like it's tiring. So yeah, it's been some nice time off, but hopefully we'll get one soon.
Yeah, I love when they like I love watching your verticals, and I love watching there's so many in the community. I love watching their verticals, but I also love when it's okay, this week I got a Jake Hobbs vertical. Next week I have a Noah Fernley vertical. Like
Yeah.
I switch up a little bit,
Sure.
And
Definitely.
I feel like that's a placement where like verticals need to like flow a little bit more, because
Yeah.
like you see certain apps and it's like it's all Joe Swanson, whatever, like all his verticals all like
Good.
back to back.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
then
That makes sense. Yeah.
yeah, and then they'll throw in like one of yours and I'll be like, oh finally, like
Yeah,
somebody
yeah. No,
else.
yeah. That makes sense. Yeah, they do get. It's almost like they get kind of fixated on a few different people and just like that's their players for this like this quarter or like this time or the next few months. So, but it's nice for like just I feel like obviously for the viewers too. It'd be obviously I'm sure just like you said, want a little switch up and want some like fresh faces rotated in there. So yeah,
Yeah. And I have my collective group that I like adore, and like I'm gonna watch their verticals wherever they may be, whether it's Playlet, whether it's Real Short or another app.
sure.
So I definitely have my group that I love watching, but I love it when it's like you go into the app and you're like, oh, here's Noah's, here's Jake's,
Mm.
here's whoever else there may be, like Kylie, Ryan. Like
Yeah,
I love like having verticals, a new vertical every day with a new person, essentially.
sure.
So
Yeah.
it's always fun, and I wish they kind of would learn how to pace that a little bit. So we get more of you guys, like of you doing this vertical and doing this vertical. But
Mhm.
back to the whole like working like 3 weeks in a row essentially. Um
Yeah,
that must really like, because I know if I work 40 hours a week in
sure.
a job and I have one day off, and you guys essentially you have that one day off, but that could mean you're planning your next trip, you're getting your tickets,
Yeah,
you're packing, you're doing all of this other
yeah,
extra stuff
sure.
for the job. How that must bring some, I don't want to use the term burnout, but kind of like a burnout essence a little
Yes,
bit.
definitely. Yeah, no, absolutely. It's like because obviously there's jobs like you get like either sometimes if it's 8 or 9 days you only get really like a day off. But we like a lot of us we always talk about it's like those day offs are not chilling and getting days off. It's like those are they're 12-hour minimum days. So we're just catching up on things that we weren't able to do during the day because we're filming 13 pages. So it's sometimes it's like damn, like I feel like I just went a week straight of or like weaker, you know 9 to 10 days straight of working because that day off was just like doing laundry or like working on emails, doing auditions for the next one. And it's just like it's interesting because like like you said, you don't there's hopefully shouldn't be a burnout because that's our job, that's our life, like this is what you
Mm.
want to do, right? But of course, like it's very human to get we'll get a little exhausted and like in I'm also a person that's like it's nice to have a little freshen up, a little refresh of new things. Like if I'm doing something for so I'm like I'm kind of bored of it. Not that I'm bored of this, but like that's just kind of how my brain operates. That's how I've always been. So that's why it's nice to have like at least a week or week and a half to like like unwind and like get out of that work mode, and then keeps you fresh for the next one. So
Yeah, and I don't want to quote it as burnout, but like I know
there,
me. Like, if I'm working my 6 days or 5 days, 40 hours, like the same thing.
sure, yeah,
And then I'm coming home and I'm like, oh, well, darn, it's my day off and I need to do laundry. I need to prep meals. I need
Not enough time in the day for all that. Yeah, it's crazy.
I like, wait, where's my break? Like, I need
Yeah,
a
yeah.
break where I can just sit and do
Yeah.
something other than this.
Yeah, because then your day gets so busy. You're like, oh my god, it's 10 o'clock. Like I got a 7 a.m. call time. I gotta get to bed. And you're like, well, I didn't do anything but just run around and do different things. So, oops. Yeah,
Yeah,
but
and I can relate to that because, like, going to working in retail and working till like 10, 11 o'clock at night,
right.
close,
Yeah.
and then having to be back the next day,
Oh,
6
yeah.
a.m. Yeah, it can be too much. So, like,
That's
I'm like,
exhausting. I can't imagine. Yeah.
there are times where I'm like, I just need a break. Like, I need this
Absolutely. Yeah.
day.
Like a real, like a 24 hour, at least 24 hours of just like nothing on the agenda, no tasks, no errands to run. Like, yeah, those are days that are, I feel like, very, like an absolute necessity in human life. Like, you gotta have those days to unwind, but sometimes life gets busy. So, but it's fun. I'm very grateful though. Even though I'm like, oh, I want to break. Like, I'm very, still extremely grateful for this. So if I wasn't working and doing these verticals, then I don't know where I'd be. So it's nice. It's very nice to have this work.
And I want to say, as a reviewer, I'm very grateful for the hard work you all put in. Like, for the 12 to 15 hours, because like I said, 40 hours, that's like
Yeah.
an 8-hour day for us. We're not doing
Yeah.
12 to 15 hours and having to survive off of, and I always like freak out when I see you guys surviving off of caffeine, because it takes me
Oh, I
back
know.
to
Yeah.
college.
Caffeine's a necessity.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
takes me back to college of drinking a Red Bull,
Mhm.
iced tea, and a soda all in the same day, and ended up in the hospital because I had such major, massive heartburn from it.
God, that's wild.
And so
Yeah.
when I
You're
see you
studying
guys doing
all
that,
day. Like you need that caffeine.
yeah, and when I see
Crazy.
you guys doing that, like, oh my god, these sweet babies.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it gets hectic. Yeah, you got to stay sharp. You got to stay locked in. And sometimes if you get tired, you're like, oh goodness, I need a Celsius or something crazy, a little coffee. So
And I told Tori Weiler, because she posted something
Mhm.
the other day. She's like, a ballroom scene, and I'm half asleep, and I'm like, that's kind of a good thing, because little to no
Yeah,
sleep, being hungover or
yeah.
out of it.
Take that break. Take that break. Take advantage of it while you have it. Because especially the ladies, the number ones, like I swear, they never get a break. I feel so bad for them because they never ever get a break during these things. They're on every single scene, and they're just like pushing them to the max. I'm like, I don't know how y'all do it. I would be crashing out. But they handle it so well, and I respect the ladies who do these so much because like, oh, they're on. I mean, there's not a lot of times they're not in every single scene, you know. So like, they are just grinding, and I have the utmost respect for them. So I
Yeah.
think so sad.
Oh, you're good. You're totally fine.
Yeah,
That's a Western thing to like interrupt in a conversation. Um, it's what is it? I was like, when you're in your 20s, it's kind of like more manageable, versus when you start to get past 25, 26, and you're like, no, I need my sleep.
sure,
You're not
sure.
gonna like if I have 4 hours of sleep.
Yeah, no, sleep is very important to me. So I try to get my 8 hours.
Yes. And like, back to Tori, like, Tori was posting about the banquet scene, and I was like, Tori, that's the equivalent to being hungover. So it works for a
Yeah,
banquet scene. Like, you're asleep, but like, we're not gonna know that because you're in a banquet.
exactly. Yeah, yeah, that's funny. It's true. Very true.
What makes a good scene partner?
Oh, I feel like it sounds like this would happen all the time. You should do this, but it's someone who, especially because like like when we're filming these scenes, it's like okay, now it's not my coverage right now. It's it's theirs, so camera's behind me. I'm not really being seen, and some people like, and I just heard from, kind of heard from sometimes there's people that like kind of take that time and just be like, give them nothing as far as like acting wise, and just like, they just kind of, say their stuff because the camera's not necessarily on them. So it's like, I'll just take this time to rest or take off, like, or, take a break. But I think obviously like the best people who I've worked with is they're very good about not doing that. They, even though it's not necessarily the camera facing them, it's facing me. They give you that realism and those emotions, so you can kind of stay in it. If you're going all out, if it's a scene for me, it's my coverage, and I'm emotional or whatever. I need to, like, I'm going all out. I need that person in front of me to give me something. Like, you got to have that, like, that push and pull. And if they're just, I'm taking a break because it's not my coverage, you're kind of like, well, that doesn't help me out. And I was giving you it all for yours, but it's okay. But I never had that experience. So, but I just have, that's what I feel like has made the best, like, best people to work with is who give you that, that emotion and those 100% takes every time. So I always
Um,
appreciate that.
with a little bit of a touch to that, is it weird when you are like, I don't want to say weird, that's not really the term, but like, is it different being like co-acting against the vertical female villain
Mhm.
versus vertical male villain? Like, is it a
It's,
different atmosphere?
I'm sorry, what was it? Is there a different one?
Is it a different atmosphere when you're
Mhm.
acting, when, like, say you're acting against, you now know like she's the villain,
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay.
and versus a male villain?
Mm.
Because I notice, like, with the male villains, it's not as strong or intense as it is with the female villains. You get you get where I'm going with that?
Yeah. I think so, like, just as far as like the energy goes, is it different? I
Yeah.
would say so, because like, because those ladies they're amazing. They're very talented and they're terrific, and they're like, they play them. Some of them play them like just too well. Like, so you're just like, wow, that's like. But that helps. Like, that helps. That I love. The ones that are like you. They're so good at it, because it's like they're making it real, and they're giving you that energy, and that's like. But I always do with like guys that, if you're in a conversation, it can be a little like, it's just like, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it, but yeah, I would say it's different. Yeah, it's a little bit different from, because they go all out. It's great.
Yeah, women are just like, I hate to say it this way, but women are just like that. Like, if we're
Mm.
gonna put our energy into something, um, if it's a birthday party, we're gonna put our whole energy into it and like planning it, setting it up, making it perfect.
Yeah, I love that. I love that about y'all. It's amazing.
And when we get mad, we also put our whole energy into that.
Sure. Yeah, I'm letting know. I'm mad.
Yeah,
Anyone. I'm gonna let them know I'm mad. Yeah. I
yeah.
love it. I think it's great.
And,
I respect
and
it.
as over dramatic and as cheesy as some of these plots can be, because I was telling one of the female actors the other day, I was like, um, they make women are not like that. Like, we're not dramatic when we're mad. We're
Mhm.
petty. We
Mm.
do petty things to each other versus like being all dramatic and being over the top with the stuff that, we want to be mean, but we don't want to get caught, essentially. So we do stuff that's petty that other people are not going to be like, what are you talking about? I didn't see that from her, like that type of stuff. And so
Mhm.
it always cracks me up when I see the female villains, because while they are, doing something that a woman might do, they do it over dramatic and over cheesy. And
Mm.
I'm like, you don't know women then, because that's not how women operate. So I always laugh a little bit about that.
Mm.
What is a funny or memorable moment from your time on
Mhm.
any vertical set?
Okay. A funny or like most memorable thing on the thing that happened on set. I'm trying to think. Gosh, there's so many like so they've all been so fun. There's always feel like there's something that's like, oh, I'll remember. I'll always remember that. But let's see. I'm trying to think of like a really one that sticks out the most. I don't know. What's so emotional? I think well one I guess like not really necessarily like a moment or a time or like thing that happened, but I just feel like a certain project that was very memorable to me just because I had a lot of fun with it was like the body swap one. It was the first time I had like it was very memorable because I was playing a woman, and like I would like I would swap bodies and like like playing a more feminine, giving a more feminine energy, and it's just like it was just fun to like I tried to give that my all, and I just like ended up. I remember just. I think what I remember the most is just being a little. It was a little bit difficult, the first couple of days because I was just like, I was just kind of nervous, like getting into it. I was like, I don't know, but I would just like watch Kelly do her thing, and I was just like, I don't know, like okay, like just trying to watch mannerisms or just like certain things, and like okay, I'll try that, I'll do that, or like I'll try that way. But it was just memorable because it was just by like a couple of days into it, like when I get more of a flow in my confidence with it, I just had so much fun
That is
doing and like it was just like very interesting because it was just like it was I had obviously even before that and not even like since then haven't done anything like that, so it
that
was a very like fun and kind of just like it was a very fun role to give a shot, just like play it because I got that freedom, I feel like, to play around a little bit because it was more comedic than it was serious, so I really liked that was fun.
that is one role that I think I don't see verticals do enough. Like that plot.
Yeah,
Like
it's kind of rare. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
And it could
I've
be
only seen a few.
so much fun to like bring it back and because I remember
Yes.
watching that and I'm just like laughing throughout the whole thing because it's such a Freaky Friday type of aspect to it.
Yeah, it's just goofy. Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, and you don't really have it's not the mother-daughter swap, it's the like guy woman
The
swap.
love interest, yeah, like the interest. That's it's kind of yeah, it's kind of fresh and it's kind of funny. I was like, that's a great. I feel like it's a great idea. I think it's very like it's a great concept, but yeah, you don't see it a lot.
Yeah, there you don't see that. And then Kiki Frakes actually did one that I like too, where the main female lead breaks the third wall. And so
Mm,
the whole vertical, she's like, you would think we were gonna do this right now, but no, actually we're gonna run and get married or something to that effect.
that's cool. Yeah,
Like, why don't we have more stuff
sure.
like that, you
Yeah.
know? Um, and then another version, like back to the whole like intense and drama. Adam Santa Cruz did one
Uh-huh.
for Drama Box where it's a psychological thriller. Where
Oh, that's cool.
yeah, where you don't
Interesting. Yeah.
where he's playing a professor and he falls in love with this guy, but you don't know if the guy is a serial unaliver or
Mhm.
if he is like if it's the teacher, like the professor's like imagining all of this from his past trauma.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's a crazy concept. That's a very interesting. Yeah, yeah. So it's more of a psychological, like I don't know. It's kind of like Shutter Island. You're like it was such a mind trip. You're like, wait, what the hell? Yeah, that's
So
cool. That's fun.
because millennials will compare, like they'll be like Final Destination. It's like we're scared. For me, as somebody who loves movies and film, it's the birds. So whenever I see birds online, I always get freaked out because I was such a Hitchcock fan. So
Yeah.
the birds is like with Sean not no, he did oh god, Marnie with Tippy Hedren.
Mm,
Sean Connery and Tippy Hedren did a movie called Marnie together.
okay.
But Tippy Hedren did the birds. And I'm like, why haven't they done the birds for verticals? Like that's so
Yeah.
vertical coded. And it's
That's so interesting you say that because my mom talks about that as that was a very like she always will remember that movie. She said she was so freaked out for years. Like it's funny you say that because yeah, I've heard like since always growing up, she was like, "Ah, that movie freaked me out. Like that was crazy." So
yeah, and
yeah,
it's not really a horror movie. It's a psychological thriller where you're going in
sure.
why are these birds attacking her constantly? Like she just wants to
Yeah.
be silent. And there's so
Yeah.
different thoughts behind it. And I to this day, that is like one of my favorite movies because it just every time I see
Mhm.
birds on the electric lines, I'm like, oh,
Like, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's funny. Yeah.
what's it like for you to have a vertical right now? For example, the Mafia one that you did with Haley
Mhm.
to be popular and then go into a brand like say you get a call, you're like, oh, I gotta work tomorrow. But this vertical that just happened with Haley is like blowing up everywhere and it's popular for you. What's that experience like?
To go off one that was like, whether it's a hit or like had a lot of good like fun on it or something
Yeah.
like that, and then I go into a new one.
Yeah.
It's yeah, that's very it is a, that's an interesting it's an interesting question because I remember when I did my first, I had so much fun. I was like, oh my god, like this was so like the one that was just like the best working experience I've ever had. And then like, you kind of have that like you're like on that high of like this was so like, oh my god, like you're kind of sad like at rap you're like, but then going to the next one was so weird because like oh like it's new people and like new situations, new plot, and then so it is very interesting to go in from something like that was either you had like a really good time with and you're like damn nothing can top that one, and it's like that was fun. It's very hard to go into one, especially if like I don't know like unfortunately maybe if like the it's not the it starts out and it's just not really the best experience. You're like oh this is kind of like either it's stressful or like something's not going the way you want. And you're like, it sucks kind of because you're like, damn, that one, I just rapped, that was so fun. But that happens. It's just like that's kind of part of it. I feel like, and I feel like you just kind of get used to it. Not like get numb to it, but you get very used to like, all right, like tomorrow I start a completely different project with new people, new platform, like, and that's just kind of how it goes. But I like that. But we were talking about earlier. I like to switch up and keeping it fresh. It's like it's fun to do that.
Is it also like really fun for you when you go from one project and you're like kind of not feeling it and then you like go into the next project? Like I don't want to like put it this way, but like say you went from the project with Haley and then
Mhm.
the next project and you're like, oh my god, Haley's here. Like was my person in the last project and like that was the person
Mhm.
that I vibe really well with.
Yeah, yeah,
And
it's cool to have like if you had like good chemistry with someone, it's good to like go into a project like, oh like because you feel comfortable, especially if you're if that was your scene partner, it's like oh like we got this, like we just did this, so yeah,
yeah,
that's fun, yeah, because yeah, obviously for me like because I'm like sometimes a little bit shy at first. It's like I like it's cool. Then well, obviously I love working with new people, but it's also cool. Like okay, like you guys already have maybe that comfortability, or like y'all worked, and even if you had worked in the past, like it wasn't just back to back. It's like oh, I worked with them, a couple months ago or last year. You still like obviously them, and you have that comfortability with them, and it definitely makes a project more smooth, or smoother when you have that chemistry or like you're comfortable with people with those people. So.
so how was it for you? And I'm gonna use the one with Kylie because we were just talking about that. How was it for you going from Sebastian? You did Sebastian first.
No, Leah was first.
Okay. How's it going from Leo to Sebastian and
Oh,
that kind of dynamic on set? You know,
it was tough. Yeah, it was weird. It was weird for me. It's hard to go from having like a romantic, nice chemistry, like we're like we're building we're like our characters are getting to know each other, and I actually like I enjoy you to where obviously with the Sebastian, obviously I mean he has that redeeming those redeeming scenes at the end. But I mean, obviously, for the most part, that's not really the focus of the story. It is like my revenge on her for sending me to jail, and so I do nothing but treat her, like trash. So that was hard. That was a very like that was one of those ones where it's like it was hard to get into, like, because obviously, and it's also the thing. Like for me, I take things very like. There's a lot of times I take things very seriously, or just like overthink, or if I overthink situations. Sometimes when you're doing like when I'm treating someone like that, and that's not how I want to treat people. Your mind, your brain, you don't it doesn't really know the difference. So we like coming home from that project. It's from the Sebastian when we talk about it, we're just like it's kind of sad. Like it's kind of like, oh man, like it was way more emotionally draining than it was playing Leo and Scarlet, because that was fun. I was like, that was that was cute, but not that was not very cute the way Sebastian was treating golly Ava. So I was like, oh man, like it was tough. It was tough emotionally. It was tough just to to get through. So, but obviously at the end of the day, it's not real.
Yeah.
It's a job. It's acting, but it's just sometimes your brain doesn't know really the difference. Sometimes it's like you could really take that like to heart, and like it can kind of like messes with you for a little bit until you just kind of get out of that funk. So yeah, it was weird. To be honest, it's very odd, very hard.
Like for me, I would be the one like because like you were describing with the brain and stuff. I would be the first one after they yell cut. I'd be like, "Oh my god, I'm so sorry."
It is. You're like, yeah, it is really like that. It's like, oh, as you know, I did not mean that. Like,
Yeah,
I'm not doing. Yeah, it's hard. It is hard to get, especially because like some people are really good at like if you're doing like an emotional or just like an angry scene, it's like they're like cut, and like and you start laughing and having like you're telling jokes and stuff as you're just going back into the conversation maybe you had like before they called action. So some people are really good at like just turning like on and off like serious, and then just like, oh, now it's like casual conversation. So and I'm like, I envy those people because sometimes it takes me a second to get out. If it's like a heavily emotional, or I need a lot of anger or any sort of emotion, really, it takes me a second to kind of get back onto like real life ground. So yeah, it's very interesting, but it's kind of a fun like thing to learn and maneuver through. So it's interesting.
I always tell Alexandria Watts, I'm like, I'm really impressed by your acting because I've seen her do both lead and villain, and as
Mhm.
villain, she can be intense. Like I've seen her, like there was a scene that her and Haley Evans had where she had to stuff Haley's like face into the toilet,
Poorly. Yeah.
and I'm like, I
God.
like Alex, I'm like, how, like, I think it's in our interview. I'm like, how did that work for you? Like, having to go to the scene,
Mm.
being so mean to Haley.
Yeah.
And then, like, I've seen her play the lead, like the lead character, the sweet,
Sure. Sure.
I think she played like the sweet girl in yours, if I remember correctly. Because
The one we did, it was like chasing my where I was. Which one?
for the one for Real Short, the one
Mm.
you guys shot in 7 days, where she played your
Yeah. Yeah, like she had nothing to do with me, like being like rude at all. I was the one that was a
yeah,
dick. Yeah, so
and she played the sweet innocent girl in that one, and then she goes and does these like villain roles, and I'm like,
dunking people's heads. Yeah,
I'm like, Alex, what is that process like?
that's some great range you got there as an actor like that or an actress like that. It's really impressive, in my opinion, to be able to do that. Like that's that switch. It's not like okay, good, evil, good, evil. It's like it's wild to do that.
And it's always funny with me because I can watch you guys as verticals, and I'm like, oh, okay, so and so is gonna be on this vertical, and I know they're probably gonna play the villain, and then
Yeah, well, you can kind of tell sometimes at this point.
and they're probably gonna play the lead. I did that with Faith. I messaged her and I was like, oh, you know what? I think I already know the plot of yours and Jake's.
Oh yeah, okay, that's fine. Wait,
Yeah.
yeah,
It's because of some like BTS like that was
sure,
posted by everybody. It wasn't just her,
sure,
it was everybody.
yeah.
But she was like, I was telling her about that, and she's like, "Oh yeah, okay." I'm like, I'm not asking you to tell me. I'm not asking you.
Sure. Yeah. You just, I just think this is what's gonna
Yeah,
happen based on photos and like
yeah.
context clues, if you will. So yeah, that's
But
interesting.
at the same time, it's always fun for me because then I'm like, so and so is doing a vertical together. Oh my god, I'm so excited! I can't wait for this to come out because I already know what so and so is like.
Sure, that's cool. That's cool. It's, yeah,
Yeah,
you've watched enough of these, and like a lot of these like actors, like which roles they're playing. So it's probably fun to be like, oh, I bet I know what this one's about.
you know
That's
what I
cool.
did? You know what I did, Jake? And I did not do this on purpose, like no knowledge. I had predicted 3 people, like a couple of people working together recently.
Uh-huh.
Like I did a video where I'm like, I do all these fun fan casting things, and
Oh yeah.
I did a video where I was like, oh, it would be so cool if Kiki Frags and Faith Orta and Kendo Twyla, which I don't know if you've seen Kendo's work yet, but Kendo Twyla, all of them would work together because of their zodiac sign, right?
Yeah.
Later,
2 weeks later.
yeah, 2 weeks after I
Uh-huh.
posted that video, Kendall and Faith are posting from a vertical set doing BTS.
With Kiki.
Yeah, no,
Oh.
but by themselves, like because they had never worked
Oh,
together. Yeah,
that's wild. So you
Yeah.
can't, yeah, you can't. Maybe you put that out there, like, to
Yeah.
like, maybe set some apps on there. Oh yeah, no, that's a good match. That's a good match.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's wild though. That's crazy.
And then I did the same thing with Kiki and Alex. They filmed
Okay.
one around his birthday time. So
Uh-huh.
I did the same thing with Kiki and Alex. I was like, oh crap. And then the funniest one to me is Anna DeRusso and Richard Sherrar were doing a vertical. And so like the very week that they started their vertical like filming, I was like, oh, I haven't seen Anna because I know their styles. I'm like, I haven't seen
Yeah.
Anna do a vertical yet. Like it would be really cool. And like Richard's in the comments like, maybe,
Oh.
maybe.
Well, yeah, we could be doing one right now, actually. You don't know. Big question mark. But yeah, we are. We definitely are. That's funny.
And
That's
then
cool.
he comes back 3 days after I posted that video and he's like, hey, Melly, like here's some information for you. And I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, I knew it. That's crazy. That's so cool though. To be like, yep, called it. I called that. Yeah.
Jay, I'm like literally sitting there laughing because I'm like, did they do a vertical together and I just don't remember? Like, do I have to go find
Yeah.
it? Like, is it
Yeah,
something-
like oops. Yeah.
Yeah. And then he puts up the information and I was like, and I start laughing. I literally made a video of it. I posted it today, in fact. I was like, I did not mean to predict this. And
Yeah. Hey, this was an accident. Yeah. It was just like I just thought this would be a great combo. Yeah, sorry. That's funny.
yeah, like I did the one for you, Ryan, Kylie, and I think I threw Alex in that one too.
Okay. Okay. That's wild
but-
because we've all worked together. Yeah. We're not all 4 of us at the same time, but we have in a
Yeah,
way.
yeah. And Ryan is such a funny bad guy. I always like I always laugh because I always think he's such a funny bad guy. But I was telling Richard in the video, I was like, I did not mean to predict this. And he's like in the comments, like, well, if you could just tell me the lottery numbers right now, I would be good.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And I'm like, Richard, if I knew that myself, I'd be rich.
Yeah. Yeah. It's crazy.
What has been your favorite? I think I can guess this one, but what has been your favorite vertical roll so far?
Favorite vertical roll. I would say, well, like obviously the body swap one, just because it was different and it was fresh and I had a lot of fun with it. But still, obviously, like to this day, other favorite one. Stop crying, don't marry someone, or stop crying, I married someone better. Just because I loved that story. Loved working with Kylie, obviously, and that was fun. That was so fun.
I loved that vertical because when it came out, I had seen a few of your verticals and I'd seen a few of Kylie's, and I was like, oh freaking God, thank you, Lord. They finally gave them one that's not depressing.
Yeah. Well, that was that was our first one together. We'll stop crying, marry someone better. Because we've done. Oh, we've only worked together 3 times because we did that one. I did like I was a supporting with her and Ryan. One they did. When was that? Last year in the fall, and then Kylie and I did the Sebastian Ava one in December. So, yeah.
Because Kylie had there had been a vertical that she had did with Mark Harmon and Brooke.
Yeah.
And
And so what was it? Oh, Brooke Moultrie, was that what you said?
yeah, Brooke Moultrie.
Yeah, last year, yeah.
Yeah. And I remember watching that vertical, and like when I don't like a vertical, like when I seriously do not like,
Yeah, you don't vibe with it. Yeah.
I don't tag you guys. I don't tag any of the actors.
Sure.
Okay, because I'm like, I'm not gonna come at you guys being like, that's the thing I learned in the book reviewing community. Like, you don't put, if you put negative reviews out there, don't tag people. So
Yeah, yeah, I gotcha.
I don't do that. But Kylie happened to see the review anyways, and we were having a conversation about it. And I was like, Kylie, that character, that whole plot was just not. Because I know her work, I know Mark's, I know Brooks. And I'm just like, that plot was just the evilest plot.
Yeah, yeah. And that's the thing, yeah, and that makes sense though, because you know you've watched a lot of us and you've watched these verticals, like you know, like when one is like, that's not them, like that doesn't make any sense. You yeah, like you know, and because like it's been going on for so long, and you know the people that are working have probably been working for a while now. It's like you've seen the stuff they do, like I just don't. That's just not it. That one was not it. So yeah, and I get it. You're not dogging on the actors themselves. They're just like it's more like that either them together or that plot or just everything. You're like that wasn't the one for me. Yeah,
Yeah.
that happens a lot. Yeah.
Brooke's villain was so evil and nasty that
Yeah. Yeah.
it just made me just like, whoa, like Brooke,
Dark.
I
Yeah.
love you. You did a great job with that, but I still
Yeah. Great acting, but that was crazy, man. Yeah. Yeah.
And then Mark just his character specifically was just kind of crazy at the end of the vertical, like psychologically crazy.
Sure.
And just like, dude, like all of this.
Yeah.
Then
Yeah.
Kylie's character, it's like that character was just like pregnant, lost the baby because of him, and also had cancer.
No.
Right.
You're like, oh my god, yeah. Could it get any fucking sorry, my language fucking worse? Like, could it get any worse for you? Yeah, that's awful.
And I just like I'm like, none of these characters, if it was human life, none of these characters would have reacted the way they did in this situation.
That's a good point. Yeah.
But,
Yeah, I know. I have that trouble. Like that's a struggle on set sometimes when you're like because sometimes you get in like you kind of get in like a not a fight but like a little argument with either like whoever's directing or something like that. It's just like more like creative differences where I'm just like, wait, what? Like you want me to react that way? It's like I would never in a million years even think about reacting that way in this situation. It's like that's when it gets really like tough with these things where you're like, fine, okay,
yeah,
let's do it. Like shit, but yeah, it's hard. Yeah, but that's such a good point that I feel like a lot of people don't talk about. It's like you're like, wait, that just happened, or like a bullying thing happens. Like they would be in prison. That is like that is assault and battery. That is a felony, you know. And they just act like it's bullying. Like
yeah,
like, you can't just go around slapping people and hitting them as hard in like doing that and like they get no repercussions. You're like, that's not real life at all. But yeah, so
yeah, and
that's interesting. Yeah,
that's kind of what I was saying about the women thing, because like in real life, women would not be that dramatic when they are angry. Like we would not react that way to people unless we were like at that point where we're in a tough situation, hard between the rock, and then we're gonna probably up and deck you. But
yeah, really, I'm done. Like I've had enough.
Yeah.
Sure.
It's so funny to me because I see that with women, like out of the gate, they're like slapping each other, and I'm like, wait, what reality?
In what world? Yeah, that's so funny. You're like, wait a minute, she didn't even say anything that bad. Yeah, you're like, why did that warrant a slap? That's what's so funny. It's not funny. It's just like, what? She didn't say anything that mean. Like, why the fuck did she get a slap? That's so interesting. That's such a great point. Wow.
Yeah, so it's just hard sometimes to watch those verticals, and those are something I very much point out when I'm doing my reviews, or at least try to. Where I'm like, but then there are some where villain like Annie. I don't know if you know Annie. I can't think of Annie's last name off the back of my head. Annie just did a role with Casey Griffin, Balazi, and Adam Santa Cruz, where she had to play the villain. And the writing in the scene, the setup, everything, you're like, okay, yeah, they would never do that in a heartbeat, but it was
Sure.
just perfect shot.
Okay,
And
that's perfect execution. Yeah.
yeah,
Huh. Cool. Okay.
so sometimes when I see that, I'm like, oh yeah, that works.
If it's like executed like how it should have been, yeah, like that's good. You're like, oh, that's cool. Like, all right, and it didn't see it coming, but hey,
Yeah.
got it. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's a good point too.
Which do you prefer? Which type of scene do you prefer to do?
Okay.
Uh, bathroom scene, pool scene, fight scene. These are just
Hmm.
some examples.
Oh,
You pick your own scene, but
sure.
which scene do you prefer?
Fight scene for sure. Like if I'm getting to do any sort of stunts, that is, I love that. I have so much fun with that. Pool scene, never want to do a pool scene for the rest of my life because the water is always freezing cold. So no more pool scene. I'm good with that. I mean, I know I have to do them sometimes, but like it is when you know, like, oh my god, I gotta do a pool scene. You're like, oh boy, the water's gonna be freezing. So great. But no, I love doing stunts. I've really come to enjoy it and I have a lot of fun with it. Just because it's just like I feel like just because I come from like an athletic background and that's just like and I wrestled a little bit. I've done some training like that in real life, so it's fun to use those skills and abilities on set. So that's my favorite by far. I would love like if I could do a stunt movie, like oh god, I'd be happy. I would die a happy man. Like that's so fun.
I feel like they set
That's my jam.
those pool scenes up late at night. So
They
I'm like,
they
dude,
do. When the sun is down. Like, why? This is freezing cold outside and in the pool. You're like, thank you so much for that.
yeah,
Great.
and I know
Great planning. Yeah.
I've noticed that from your guys' BTS that
Oh
even
my
if
God.
you're like, even if the pool scene looks like it might be midday, it's always nighttime. And
Yeah.
you could
I,
have done it so early.
yeah, if you like, obviously the one that Haley and I first did back in, or the first one is the one with the twins, that was at probably, Jesus, that was like 10, 11 p.m., like almost pushing next day. It was awful. It was like one of the coldest days we had of the week, and the water was not heated. It was miserable, miserable. So we were ecstatic to get that shot over with, done. And it was the last shot of the day. So we were already just like dead, from a 12-hour day. And like we were going overtime and we were just like, let's just get this done. Like, come on. So yeah, it was brutal. The pool scenes are not fun, but that's okay. Got to do it.
What is usually kept in your vertical set bag?
Ooh, that's a great question. Let's see. I feel like my backpack's over there, so I always have like the same stuff. I got chapstick. I wear contacts, and my sometimes my eyes get kind of dry, so I have like some eye drops. I always have my like toiletry bag with me that has like deodorant and all the necessities to smell good. Smell like a decent human. And I said chapstick, phone charger, like a portable charger. Mm, Maybe some extra clothes just in case, like socks, extra socks, or it's a long day, so you might need some fresh socks or something. Just that's really it. Just like little necessities, just to stay fresh during the day. Caffeine. Sometimes I take pre-workout because I'm a psychopath. So it just depends on where we're at. Like if I how long or how much time I'm gonna have access to go get some caffeine. But 'cause I'm not a huge coffee guy, so I like to keep like the powder, like the pre-workout powder, on deck. So yeah, that's really it. Just essentials.
Yeah, it's always it's nice. It's nice that I have a guy's perspective of this because
Yeah, that is. I'm the first one, so yeah, you've never heard someone's bad. Yeah, mine's pretty easy, probably compared to the ladies. They got a lot more stuff they got to take care of.
and I was just thinking in my head, I'm like, Jake, you're always in suits. Like,
Yeah, like the wardrobe's already given to me, so I'm just like, I just come already, with my bag, and I don't gotta do much. Yeah, it's the same suit every day.
what's one thing we as the audience would be surprised about when it comes to vertical sets?
Um, I mean, I feel like it's really not new news anymore. But what always shocked me was just I didn't realize that there were pretty much, I mean, most of them are feature film lengths, like, like hundreds of pages, like, well, not hundreds, but like, I feel like probably the most I've done is, I mean, 120, 130 page script. And that's a full length movie sometimes, but it's shot in 8 to 9, sometimes 5 to 6 days. So that was always like, if you don't know that, like, I think that's one of the biggest shocks, or the biggest reveal or shocking reveals, like how little time we have and how long the script is. So that's why it's just going, going, going for how many ever days straight. So
I think
that
one.
was the wildest thing to me. I was like, wait, what? And this is we're doing 13 pages today. We're doing like 20 scenes. You're like, what? That's insane. So, but you kind of get like used to it in a way.
I think one of the wildest things for me as a woman was when I saw a vertical female actress post on TikTok where she literally kind of had to get changed like in the middle of set. Like
Mm.
her and she
That's weird. Yeah.
she was in her
That's,
in the wedding dress, so she had leggings underneath so you couldn't see it.
sure. Yeah.
But she had to like take the dress off and like they bought the jacket over it and I'm like, that's
Oh, I don't like that at all. They should be able to give us that. That's where I'm like, at that point, I'll say something or or be like, you know what? Like, these people don't need to see that. Like, let me go change in private in peace like a normal human being. Like, that's when I get a little irritated. Is like, okay, no, we don't have that little time to where she can't, or whoever can't go change by them. Like, that's just, no, I hate that. Like, that's so mean to do to someone, like, in front of everyone, especially a woman. You don't do that.
yes.
That is where I get, that is like where I draw the like respect, definitely the respect line. Like, that, no, that ain't cool. Like, give them privacy. That's not cool at all.
Yes.
Hate that.
And that was like the first one I ever saw. I saw her post it and I was like,
Sucks, yeah.
oh my God, like she couldn't run to like a corner.
She could have. They just act like you can't, and that's messed up.
Yes.
That ain't cool. Yeah.
And I'm like, she could have easily gotten into a corner, or you could have a pop-up tent. Like they have those simple little
Easy fix. Absolutely. Why don't they have more of those? Like, they kind of suck because they're so crammed and tiny, but hey, it's better than changing in front of a bunch of people you don't know that well.
yeah.
So yeah, that drives me nuts.
And then the other thing too, I think that shocked me too, is the 12 to 15 hour days.
Yeah.
As-
Yeah, because usually normal like SAG sets are, it's 8 hours, and every time after that it's overtime. Whereas we don't have those really rules and restrictions because it's not SAG. So most of them are. I mean, I guess it's going SAG more. Some are, but
yeah. And
yeah,
the
yeah, it is wild. Wow.
15-hour days that you guys are doing, and then when you have to do them at night. And then I'm like, I'm
Yeah.
sleeping because I'm 2 hours behind you guys. So I'm
Sure.
sleeping, but you're probably up at midnight where it's like 2 a.m. for me. You're just still filming.
You're still going? Yeah, it is wild. Wait, you're 2 hours. Wait, you're 2 hours ahead of California, right?
Well, you're behind. I look at it as behind.
Well, it's because you're. Oh, so it's 5 o'clock right now. 5:46.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're on Oklahoma time. So that's always like, okay, I need to not call my parents right now because it's like it's 1 in the morning. So like when I get off set, I'm sometimes like, oh, give my mom or dad a call. I'm like, oh wait, no, I can't because they're asleep. It's way ahead, way past the bedtime. So yeah, that is interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. Who do you look up to? And it can be anyone. It doesn't have to be vertical wise. Who do you look up to as an actor, director, or writer? Anybody in the business?
I think I always think about, like, as far as like from inspiration for me, is just people kind of like a John Krasinski type who does a lot, like who kind of does it all. That's always, since I got into this and started doing this more often, I really love and admire that. Like, they can direct, they're either maybe on the production side, they're actors, like they dip their feet into a little bit of everything, which I think is really cool. And I don't want to ever be just like put all my eggs in one basket. It would be nice to, like, learn all aspects of the business.
Yeah.
Either be on the business side of it or, you know, in front of the camera, behind the camera. Like I feel like that just makes you a better actor in general, is to know all those, like, you know, different aspects. And that's what's cool. Like what's cool about, even though I didn't love being a PA, it's not much of a, it's not the most fun job in the world, but you know, I got to learn a lot. Like that was my first taste of a set. It was like commercial sets and stuff. I was like, oh wow, like this is very interesting. And like to not have that knowledge and then go right into maybe being in front of the camera, it's you're just like, oh, don't know how things work here. So it was great to have that not prior knowledge. So yeah,
I'm one of those people where if I enter into a job, I want to learn everything about that job.
why not? Yeah,
Yeah, because it's fun. It's fun for me learning new things. I might do one thing for
sure.
like a week or a month or something. I'm like, okay, cool, this is fun. I know what this is now. Now let me do
Yeah,
something else.
sure. Yeah, it's fun. I enjoy learning new skills and like even if it's just like, oh, I'm not going to do this very often, but it's just, oh, like it's nice to know how to do it. Like, it only helps me as like either like the acting side of things, like to know what, you know, what they're looking for. So
Yeah, my brain, that's kind of how my brain works. It's just like I can't be doing like I need organization, but
okay,
I also can't be doing the same thing all the time, every time. I
I
need
got you. Yeah,
to do
I
something
got
different.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I feel the same. I get very like cooped up and like I like to be active, but like and I like structure. Love structure. Love things in order the way I prefer it. But you know, it's just like we were talking earlier about getting like a little bit of burned out or you know something like that. It's nice to like keep it fresh and like learn new tasks or things to keep your mind occupied. So yeah, no, I agree. I'm kind of the same way.
Yeah, and it's kind of you guys are kind of lucky in the aspect that okay, yeah, right now I'm gonna go play this big boss CEO over here, but this
Hmm.
next one I'm gonna play a mafia dude.
Yeah, it's cool. Yeah, that's cool. That's
Yeah,
fun. Even though it's kind of it's definitely it's kind of like it's a something to get used to, but it's very that is cool to be like, all right, like yeah, like I'm a happy. You know, I'm the father of twins, and then now I'm a serious like you mess with me, like you're going down kind of character. It's cool. It's like cool to keep because that I feel like it's like it just keeps your acting chops like in check too. It's like you know it's like going to the gym. You got to keep got to keep those muscles working, and I feel like to get also builds range like being able to play different. I mean that's that. I mean that's obviously the actors that can do that is the most impressive to me. Who are so good at they've done it all. That's very impressive.
yeah, and that's another thing I always like to point out when I'm doing these interviews or talking about you guys in reviews. I'm like, I get like you have played villain. Now can
Yeah,
I have him do a lead? Because that's gonna grow his acting range. And it's
fair.
make me like as the viewer be like, oh yeah, so okay, I've seen Jake do like an awesome villain right now. I can't wait to see him
Sure.
do the lead. Like I,
Yeah, yeah,
you know, so I
it's cool.
get annoyed when they do that to the women. Like they'll stick certain women in specifically villain roles, and I'm like, dude, they're so good. Give them
Oh,
something.
I know. Yeah, trust me. They're or just they play the ones where they're just getting completely abused or like regretting or like all those just like they're just not getting to do anything but this character. Like yeah, and I know exactly what you mean, and it's just such a it's such a waste of talent for like these people because they are so talented. It's just like it's so not fair for them to just be like pigeonholed into one you know genre or one role like type or like a type like getting typecast. It's like this person is so talented. Like let them have some range. Let them play. Let them try something different because I promise you won't regret it. But yeah,
That
that's a part of this business. So it's hard. It's like you play one role and hey, say you do like even though you do it well, it's like well, you just got yourself typecast and great, but that's okay. It's like, I mean, if you're working and making money or having fun with it, at least it's like, there we go. At least I can understand how that would get like, that can get a little redundant, just being stuck in villain jail or whatever it may be. Cause it's like, yeah, it's like cause all these people, we all have like, certain things that we could do or like more talent and like, we just want to showcase it. So,
that's why I loved like going back to the one you did with Kylie, the Leo Forrester one. That's why
yeah.
I loved that vertical. That's why when I saw it, I was like, oh, this first of all, the plot was really good. Like I thoroughly
Mhm.
loved the plot.
That's
But
cool.
I was like so happy because I was like, oh, finally Kylie's not in damsel in distress role. Like they're
Right?
giving
Yeah.
her. And that's why I'm like I know Kylie's work at this point. I'm like, give her something sweet
She's
and
so
I
good. She's so talented. It's like, yeah, exactly. But why give her all the like the regret or getting shit from everyone? It's like, no, let the girl play because she's
I
fucking
don't
incredible.
know if you
Incredible actress. Yeah.
I don't know if you saw the one with her and Ryan where she played Genesis. Annie was in
Oh,
that.
I think that was the beginning of this year.
Yeah. And
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Annie
That
was
was, I think, she was more of a like she was a stronger character though in that one, which was cool for her, and I was glad to see. I was like, yeah, there we go. Don't take shit from anybody. Yeah, it was cool. Yeah, that was I think that was this year. That was like the first one she did this year. Yeah.
yeah. Her and Ryan and Annie were in that one, and I loved her. As I was telling her in her interview, I don't know if you ever seen it. It's over on my YouTube channel.
Mhm.
She was so good in that
Oh yeah.
because I just watched her as Genesis, and there's a moment where she just has to let loose on Nora, who's played by Annie, and
Yeah.
I'm like, yes, girl, finally a character where you can
Yeah.
be that baddie and be that strong. You know,
Love it.
I was
Love it.
happy.
It was great. Yeah, it's great. Give this girl a backbone because she has one. It's like let her pop off. Like it's fun to see because she's really fucking good at it. And like just to be frank, yeah, it's great. So
Yeah, and all of you guys,
give her more roles where she can showcase that she's an actress. You know, like it's
and,
wild. You
and
know?
all of you guys as friends, I'm sure you guys see, as friends, you're like in the background, like, oh yeah, I worked with that person on set. They're my friend. Like
Yeah,
I really like them. I'm ready for them to have a role that showcases the talent that I know they can.
yeah,
You know,
sure. And I think that's a cool part of this vertical space, at least from who I've met and have spent time with. Like a lot, but everyone is very supportive, and it's very cool because like obviously this is a like one of the most I don't say I don't know maybe one of the most competitive industries in the world. It's like and there's a lot of competition with us and you know but a lot I feel like from what I've seen and gained from everyone's characters like you know we're all very supportive of each other and want each other to win and that's not always the case with certain things. You know when there's some competition involved you want to be the best and it could get a little dirty so but no, I feel like a lot of, I mean, everyone I've met has been very supportive, very just like, yeah, like do your thing. Like, and that's cool. That's really cool for a community to be very like supportive of each other in a such like in such a competitive business. So
and
I think it's really cool.
not only are you guys supportive of each other, I also find that it's really, really, really awesome that the acting community and the backstage crew, the directors, makeup artists, whatever, are also really supportive of the reviewers in this community. Because
Yes.
I've experienced that. Like I've had conversations with costume designers and stuff where they talk
It's
about,
great.
and I'm like, I love this community because of the support that's in it. It's so
It's
cool.
cool. Yeah. It's so cool. It's awesome. Yeah. I love that.
Who's the funniest person you've worked with on a set?
the, the funniest person. Let's see. The funniest person. Trying to think. Let's see. Trying to think like because there's haven't been a ton of comedic ones, but I'm trying to think who just has some really good like timing. I don't know. I'm trying to think. Like I feel like everyone's very like everyone's got some great comedic timing, but I'm just like because there hasn't been a ton of roles where I've been able to like work for like been comedic, but there was oh, God man, what was it? Hmm. Oh man, I don't know. That's like, it kind of stumped me on this question. I don't know. That's a good question. Everyone, I don't know. I think everyone's funny. Yeah, I don't know. This is the first question I got stumped on. I don't know. I don't know to be honest.
Well, I know. Well, I have you worked with Ryan Ray Vincent?
Ooh, once,
Okay,
but
like
it was the one with yeah that I was playing a supporting character of one that him and Kylie were working on.
Yeah, I feel like he like I don't know, like but on screen when he does his funny characters, he's generally a very funny guy. So like that could be one, or maybe one from your Freaky Friday one because that was like a rather funny vertical.
I feel so bad because unfortunately I forgot the guy's name, but he plays the basically like the one who is the first one to kind of catch that like something's going on here. He was fucking hilarious, and he also does like stuff on his I saw because I it reminded me because I saw him just the other day post a is either some kind of like comedic bit on his Instagram or TikTok, but he was it was kind of playing a game or like making fun of like verticals and just like the tropes and whatnot. And it had me dying. I thought it was really funny. And I was like, oh my god, I forgot how funny that guy was. But like I would say that he was really good. Because that was like that's like maybe why it's kind of hard for because I'm like that's the only really comedic one I've done was the body swap. So I'm like, well, the others like there wasn't a lot of laughing involved because it wasn't that funny. But I don't know. Yeah, so I say him. He was great. I'm so sorry, but I just forgot his name.
Oh no, I'm terrible with names too. I always tell you guys.
Yeah, I'm really good at faces, but sometimes I'm like, oh my god, what's their fucking name? Like they could be like, hello, I'm so and so. I'm like, wait. Wait, well, like 2 seconds later, I'm like, what was their name again? Sorry. Like, damn it.
Yeah,
But
I
yeah,
can
I
watch.
would like I've always noticed if I meet someone like I would say repeat the name, then I tend to remember it more. But like sometimes I'm like, oh shit, I forgot. Yeah.
I
But
always watch verticals. Like I can watch the whole vertical and I'll sit there and watch it, and I'm like, oh, it's fresh in my mind. Let me go review, and then I'm like,
yeah.
what was
You-
this again? Like, what was
you-
the character? Like,
that's so funny. Like, they're yeah, that's funny. It's
and
hard.
And I tell everybody, I'm like, the final thing that you see might be my fourth, fifth, or sixth
Mm.
take of that review
Oh,
because
okay, yeah, that's
I got a
funny.
name, or I said something the wrong way, or I meant to call
Yeah.
you by your character's name, or I called you by your real name.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, I'm sure that's so hard for you because there's so many different names and characters, and like having to like remember their actual name versus their character name. I'm sure that's like, oh, so and so like that. This was the character name, not yeah. That's hard to like go back and forth and to remember both. That's extremely impressive. So
Yes,
that's wild.
and like your vertical, the Leo Forrester one. The only reason I remember is Leo Forrester.
It's a pretty different name. Yeah,
Yeah, because
like
Forrester
very common.
connects to soap operas for me. So like
Ah,
there
okay.
there's a soap opera on TV where the main family was the Forrester family, and
Oh, cool. Okay, cool.
and they were in fashion and stuff. So every time I think Forrester, I think of that show, and then I'm like, oh, Jake's character, Leo Forrester, and then
So yeah, there you go.
my mom was a Leo because her birthday's in August, so it's like
Oh,
Leo.
I'm a Leo too. My birthday's in August. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's cool.
What do you do when you're not working on a vertical?
Honestly, just kind of just relaxing, chilling. I like to just take it easy, or I really love going like I try not to do it all the time when I'm just chilling or like have too much time. But I like to go to the mall. Like I love like shopping for clothes. I love clothes, so I don't always buy all the clothes. I just kind of like to browse as well. But I just like even if I don't buy anything, I like just like walking around them. It's just fun to like browse and say, oh, that's cool, that's cool. But I'm very into to fashion and stuff like that, so I like stuff like that.
That is so fun to hear because malls are such a dying art. Like malls are
I
dying.
know some people don't want to come 100 yards from a mall. I'm like, I love them. Like I'll go to them. I don't care if the parking sucks, especially in LA. I'm like, I love malls. So because everyone's online shops now. I'm like, I hate online shopping because every brand's different for me and different fits fit in different way. I'm like, I like to try it on because
And
sometimes you order something online and you get it and try it on. You're like, ooh, golly. So it's nice. I like to try. I think sometimes it's like trying stuff on. You're like, oh yeah, that's not. Good thing I didn't buy that online because that ain't me. So that's fun. I
yeah,
like. It's like a whole thing. It's like a whole routine for me. It's very fun.
and what I find in the Midwest is that we have one specific mall here that was like modeled out, like they updated it and modeled it out where the stores are outside instead of
Mhm.
inside. You run into
Sure.
separate stores, and I'm like,
Yeah.
why would you do that? Like,
Sure.
we're
Yeah.
winter time, freezing. I have to literally go out of this store to go into this next store when I could have just walked out the door and walk through a warm hallway. But
Yeah.
it's like malls are really a dying art, and I'm like, bring them
Sure.
back. Like,
Yeah, bring back malls again. Those are cool. I like it.
we spent our teenage years in malls, just sitting there,
Yes.
walking from stores and looking at
Yeah,
stuff.
in like the one mall in this city. Yeah, it's like that's so true. I spent a lot of time at the old Quail Springs Mall in Oklahoma City. Not a lot going on there, but hey, it's where we went. So that's funny.
Yeah, and like we went into the malls to like go to the music store, like check the
Yeah,
latest CD, and then we would spend
sure.
$4 just because we bought a CD. Like,
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, it is. It's a dying art. Like, bring him back. Bring him back. Bring back the liveliness of him again.
if you had a magic wand, what type of
Mm.
vertical would you want to do?
I would say a sports vertical, like a cool boxing one, or because I've been dying to get on like a fighting boxing one or some sort of sports football lacrosse kind of one. I don't think there's been a lacrosse one yet, but um, yeah, just I really want to do like an athletic sports one. I've yet to do one, so
I
that'd be first things first.
I think a lacrosse one would be great. Ashley Green and oh god, Kellen Lutz. Right after they did Twilight, they
Huh?
did a lacrosse vertical together.
Oh, that's cool.
Not a vertical movie, and it's a
Oh, okay.
good movie. Like, it's got a good plot to it.
Oh,
Like,
really? That's cool.
he's a lacrosse player who loses his father, and
Oh,
she
wow.
comes in and plays his girlfriend, and it was so good.
Oh, I mean, I've never seen it. I need to check that out. That's cool.
What is a vertical that is most memorable to you?
Mm. I would still say stop crying. That was a good one. That was a great one. Yeah. Very memorable and very it was just was I just had so much fun with it. It was so great. So absolutely that one.
You
That's
it, it,
always the first one that comes to mind.
it translates well on screen too. Like, you can tell that's such a good vertical.
Yeah, God, it was so fun. It was so great. Everything about it. Like that was just like one of the even just like regardless of it was just like anything. It was just like every day was a joy to go to. Every just like every moment. There was not really too many. I feel like there's not really any stressful moments. Like sometimes they get like some days can be worse than others, or just like it's a grind. You're like, damn, like this project is a grind. But that was everything about the project was it was so fun. I enjoyed it. Like I think it was 8 or 9 days. Enjoyed every single day. Not one day was I like, oh God. Like I was so happy and excited to go to work every day. Like during that job. So great time, great project.
That's one of the verticals, like I said, I was really impressed by. And that a lot of people are like, oh, but you love no, this is the vertical I would sit and rewatch. This is
Oh,
the
that's so.
vertical
Thank you.
I love the character, like sentences from the characters, quotes from the characters.
Sure. Oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah,
Cool. Thank you. Yeah, that's fun.
that's the vertical. Like not only was I happy that Kylie did not play as I call it, a depresso espresso character,
Espresso Express. That's hilarious. Okay. That's so funny.
but like it had a good plot set up.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, she still had some trauma from the family, but
Sure. Of course.
Leo was like a real guy, like a
Okay.
real guy. So that is one vertical that, like, there's very few of them. I always joke that I annoy the heck out of Kiki and Haley and Brooke because there's one that they did that I just utterly obsessed with.
Yeah.
But that is one that I'm just like, that one with Kylie is just one that it's beloved in my heart. So.
Oh, yeah, that's great. Thank you. Yeah, we had so much fun working on it. So I wish like because you're like really there's not a lot of people that have like said or done reviews or said too much about that one, and you always have always vouched for it. So we were like we love that she loves it so much because we had so much fun. So we're always like, damn, I wonder why this one doesn't get reviewed or anything. But yeah, it's like it seems like it's starting to get a little bit more like views for some, even though that was last year. But like we've noticed a little bit more like attention to it, even though it was a while ago. So
it's one that the plot for me, the plot specifically, was
yeah,
so good. It sounded more, the best way to describe it is it sounded more realistic. It came off
Yeah,
human like
sure.
versus the usual, oh my god, I'm gonna slap her, dump ice over her head or that.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's one of the reasons it's like still one of my favorites to this day.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, it's great. We had a great time on that one.
Is there a piece of your acting that you wish more people knew about? Like one that nobody really talks about, focuses on, and you're like, oh, but this was so good. Like, I want more people to watch it.
Oh, well, a certain project, or is that what you said?
Yeah.
Um, ooh, I would say that one, the first one with Kylie and I, and then I feel like there's another one I always think of. It's like, damn, I wonder why. But I enjoyed the first Mafia I want, Fated Deal with the Mafia King. That was another one of my like favorites, like that I got to do, and that was really fun. So I hope like I wonder if that one like that was a cool one too. So that's always like a memorable project. But I just feel like I had a lot of fun with that also because I feel like it was the first. Golly, I think it was like my fourth vertical I ever done, but it was the first time I got to like show some emotion, just kind of a deeper character. So that was cool. Like I wonder if like I hope that one like gets looked at and like just because that was my first time kind of just like getting to like have some emotion and like do it different, kind of like it was a different character for me. So that was cool.
Yeah, I love asking this question because I love you guys coming to me and being like, hey, Melly, I did this one. Have you seen this one yet? Because
Yeah.
I find better, like, verticals that I love that way.
Oh,
So
cool. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
that's one of the questions that I absolutely love asking you guys.
Sure.
Without giving anything away, what's your favorite line of dialogue you have ever delivered?
What's my favorite line of dialogue? Honestly, the one we were talking about earlier, the Leo line. I love that. I thought it was so funny. That was like the time we were just all like cracking up because it's like, like, what a weird thing to say. He had some very odd one-liners. You're just like, wait, what? But like, it was kind of fun. Let's say that, like those ones, yeah. The this place upsets my wife. I'm leaving. This is just so great. I thought it was cool. Like carrying her at the same time. I thought it was really funny.
I like that as a man because that is something that I think um, can be a human aspect where the man's like,
Sure.
hey, I don't care if you're her family or not. You're making her mad, and I don't like that. So peace out. We got to go.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
um,
Sure.
which vertical actor or actress has given you the best advice on set or taught you something new? So, like, has there been a co-star that you've learned something new for, or has just like giving you random advice that you're like, oh, I'm gonna take that into the future?
Uh, I mean, I think honestly, I feel like everyone I've worked with has given me some sort of tip, or like, I get to see something new, and I think that's what the coolest thing about the verticals is like, because you work with so many different people so quickly. I mean, you get to see everyone's acting style. You get to see, like you get tips and tricks. Like especially like I love to ask questions. I love to be a sponge and absorb anything I can because I'm still very new to this world. So I love that. That's one of the coolest things about it is working with different people because you get to like get advice. You get to get like, oh, like, okay, that's cool. They did that differently, but the other person that I just worked with kind of did it that way. But it's like that's the glory and the beauty of it is like I think everyone has had so much like great advice and like different things to like different perspectives. So I think everyone's got something to say.
I love that because I'm the same way. I'm a sponge, and
Yeah.
I like watching people work because I learn something that they don't realize that they're doing that can be
Sure.
useful to other people. So
Yes.
I love that answer. If you can ask me any question, what would it be?
Oh, I would say because I was wondering, I was just like, what? I'd say I feel like just one. It's like a two-part question. One, kind of like when and why did you, or when and how did you start getting verticals, and then like watching them and all and enjoying them, and I guess like the other part of it is like what does watching verticals or what do verticals do for you? I mean, like how do they make you feel, or how do they like? I guess just like what like I don't know, kind of like why do you to do what you do? Like, why do you like them? Like, what got you into them? Kind of thing. Like, what do they, do they like bring you joy? Do they bring, is it like interesting? Is it funny? Like, there's so many, I've heard so many different things. So it was interesting to hear like why people liked them, like why people got into them. So,
Okay, so the first vertical, and I remember it very distinctly, Faded to My Alpha, I believe it's called.
okay.
It's with Casey Esser.
So
And
it's a pretty old one. Like, is it back in the, okay.
I'm pretty sure it's 2023, maybe been 2024. And Autumn Noel. It
Okay.
was an alpha paranormal vertical.
Okay. Cool.
And the reason I love it is because they take me back to my childhood. They take me
Okay.
to spending time with my mom, because my mom and my grandmother were both big daytime soap opera people.
Okay. Okay.
But most importantly, my mom loved TV shows like Dallas, which was called nighttime soap operas. So,
Mhm.
ever seen an episode of Dallas? You've ever seen an episode of like Knots Landing? These are like 80s, 90s shows.
Sure.
Or there's another one. It's not Knots Landing. I can't remember. Dynasty. Dynasty. It's very vertical coded.
Okay. Cool. So
80s,
it's almost like nostalgic in a way.
yes. So 80s and
Cool.
90s soap operas were very vertical coded.
Wow. Okay.
Like my mom once told me that she accidentally slapped my dad in her sleep because the character, her female character on the soap opera that
Oh
day,
my gosh. Yeah.
had been in a hole, like a underground hole
Okay.
with rats.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
She's slapping away the rats. Yeah.
yeah. And so my
That's
mom
hilarious.
was dreaming that she was that character.
Yeah.
And
That's
so
hilarious.
she accidentally, like my dad was trying to wake her up because she was like having a nightmare kind of, and
Yeah.
accidentally slapped him because of,
Wrong decision. Yeah. Like, do not wake her up. Yeah. Poof. You paid the piper. That's hilarious. Okay. Funny.
and
Wow.
so now that she's been gone for 13 years,
Mm.
um watching verticals is very much like the Leo Forrester thing. My mom was a Leo. This
Wow.
5-1 Leo, type.
That's cool. Yeah.
And her favorite soap opera, one of her favorite soap operas, the family's name was Forrester, and they were in fashion design, which is very vertical coded.
Sure.
And
That's
so
wild. It's very cool.
and it's actually one of the soap operas. This specific soap opera is still on. It's like 39 years old. It's still on TV.
Wow.
It's
That's
still
wild.
playing. It still has viewers.
Cool.
So for me, that's like such a like a nostalgia thing to watch them.
It's amazing. I love that. That's amazing answer. That's I love that. It's very
So
cool.
I can remember too. I'm watching like Faded to My Alpha. That was back when Real Short had no subscription services.
Hmm.
You were paying for coins or you were watching the free ads to watch it.
Yeah.
And I literally went through all the free ads and just to watch it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Interesting. Yeah, that's cool. Wow. Cool answer. Yeah, about that.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Awesome.
so it's very like there's just certain things you do. Like it's like, oh, that's just like it takes me back to my childhood and I love it.
Yeah, nostalgia. Nostalgia. That's really cool. That's awesome. Yeah, that's nice.
What's on the top of your bucket list?
More traveling, I'd say, just like getting to do some more traveling. I've gotten to do a little bit more in the past year, which is nice. So just like continuing doing that. I've always been interested in traveling. So I'd say just like not, I guess it's not a specific bucket list place or item, but just continuing to do that. I love traveling and like getting the opportunity to see new things. So
Have you traveled for the verticals? Like have you traveled outside of the US? Let me
I went
be
to China. Yeah, I went to China.
Oh, okay.
That was going into right before 2025. Yeah.
What's your favorite kind of weather?
I'd say fall. At least fall here is awesome. I love fall weather. Like where it's still a little cool, but it's also kind of warm at the same time. Like I hate summer when it's just like not that I hate it. It's just like I can't stand straight heat or straight cold. Like I like a little mix of both. Like if it's like kind of warm during the day, but then you can throw in like a jacket at night or something like that. That's mine. That's my jam.
That's such a like I laugh because that's such a Midwestern answer because we're very
Yeah.
like, oh, I don't want that 85, 95 degree weather, but you give me that little 65 with that little breeze and like I'm good. But
Yeah.
if fall goes straight because we're so close to Minnesota and Canada, if fall goes straight
Mhm.
to freezing cold, I'm like, no, 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 no.
Yeah, yeah, I know it's crazy. I can imagine over there it's gonna be freezing cold. Yeah.
We've our winters, some of our winters, we've had straight weeks where it's negative 3 degree weather. Yeah, yeah. I
That's
would
awful.
I would rather the snow than the negative degree weather.
Yeah. I said fall. And I think it was right while we were just talking about them. Oh, we were talking about Midwest because it's a Midwest answer because he's like goes right into winter. Yeah, but absolutely fall. I love fall.
What type of books do you like to read?
Um, I like kind of whatever. Honestly, I like more just kind of like in the fantasy or just like out of reality type of stuff. I don't like the real stuff. I just like I kind of just don't pay attention to as much. But I love just I don't know, just like just different. I don't know, kind of just things to get out of your head and more entertaining or just like different. Kind of like the verticals are a little bit wild. So I like things that are a little more like either fantasy or nonfiction or just stuff that's just kind of more interesting, like just different, kind of outlandish.
I'm the same way. I like fantasy or romance or like
Yeah,
historical fiction type of stuff.
sure.
Final question. Describe your perfect day.
Perfect day. Ooh, that's a good question. I would say I don't sleep in too late. So, but if I could like, I don't know, like 8 or 9 a.m. wake up because I usually wake up like 5 or 6 and just like start going. But if I could like sleep in a little bit, like at least like 8 or 9. Um, Not a big breakfast fan, so I wait till lunch. But I'd say like get a little workout in if I can. Wake up, work out, have a really nice meal of some sort at some point. Like as far as not doesn't have to be expensive, but just like something I really enjoy. A nice lunch, and then go to a mall. I would go probably just honestly. These are just like I'm just thinking of days what I do when I'm not working. So that food mall, and then just go to bed somewhat early, or like I don't know, play a little Nintendo Switch just for fun and have an early night. Not very exciting, but just kind of what I like to do when I'm not working. So
That's your
simple,
perfect.
the simple pleasures of the simple pleasures in life. So yeah,
So I want to thank you so much, Jake. I really appreciate this. You were the first vertical male to volunteer, and I so appreciate that.
of course. Thank you.
I'm gonna stop recording now.
Yeah.